How do you translate a point on a coordinate plane? Throughout the video, we'll discuss how to translate a point on a coordinate plane. And when you come to class prepared with your notes, we will then discuss how do we translate a figure on a coordinate plane. But let's go ahead and start with a point. Just want to remind you what your notes should look like to take notes from this video. Your section and title go up top. This is video title 1. There is no video title 2 or 3. You'll complete your notes in the right-hand column, and at the very end of the video, after you've reviewed your notes a few times, you'll then write your summary at the very end. Let's first discuss what transformations are, because translation is a type of transformation. Think about transforming yourself or something else becoming a transformation. The definition within geometry is a change in the position, shape, or size of a figure. Let me give you an example, a real-world example. What about a caterpillar that transforms into a butterfly, right? It's having a change in its, well, maybe not position, but definitely the shape and size of it. So we're going to discuss transformations, and there are 3 types of transformations. The first one we're going to go through in this video is translation. A translation moves each point of a figure the same distance and in the same direction. We can call this a slide. Reflection is a transformation that flips over a line, and we're going to focus on vertical and horizontal lines and then maybe practice with some slant lines. And then we're going to do rotation, and rotation is a transformation that rotates around a central point. So now you'll hear me use the words transformations over and over again, and for this video we're only talking about the first type, which is translations. Okay, here's an example using shapes. A translation moves a figure horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. A reflection is a transformation that creates a mirror image of a figure across a line. And a rotation moves a figure by rotating it around a point, a specific point. Okay, here's your first set of notes. I want you to make sure that you write this down before you follow along with me. And then when you're ready to follow along with my voice, then press resume. These notes are for translation. Oops, I did not mean to do that. So let me give you an example. Let's translate this point B, which is 2, -1. So we go, this is the x-axis, we go over 2, down -1, and we have this point here, B. And we're going to translate that point down 5 units and to the left 2 units. So we're going to go down 5 units and then to the left 2 units. And it explains here, we count down 5 units for point B and 2 units to the left of point B. And we'll graph this new point, which we call B. And that little symbol there is called prime, B prime. The coordinates of B prime now, the new B prime. See, if we would have called that just B, then how do we know the difference between this B, this old B and this new B? To show the new image or the new point, we want to say prime. And so B prime has the points 0, -6. The figure you get after a transformation is called the image. So this is the image of this, what we call the pre-image. So why don't we go ahead and write that down? This is called the pre-image. And this point is called the image. Oops, that's perfect. Let's just have it go down right there. It's called the image, okay? To name the image of a point, we use prime notation. So you get very used to us using prime notation, and pre-image is before we do any type of transformation to the object or to the picture. And then after that, we have the image. Let's practice. I want you to translate the point A, which is at -3, 2, left 3 units, and up 2 units. Go ahead and draw your graph, plot the point, and then translate it left 3 units and up 2 units. Okay, and here's your answer. Your A prime is now at point -6, +4. And let's take a look to see what I did. I translate this point 3 units to the left and then up 2 units. And now I have this new point, which is A prime. So here's my pre-image and my image. Here's another one for you to practice. We have the point B at -2, -5 here. And I'd like you to translate this point to the right 7 units and up 5 units. Go ahead and draw the graph, translate the point, and then go ahead and resume the video when you're ready to see the correct answer. Okay, now hopefully you had tried it on your own and this is the answer you should have gotten. Let's go and discuss. We began with our image, our pre-image here, which is B at -2, -5. I translated my point to the right 7 units. And when I say 7 units, I'm talking about each one of these is 1 unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way you don't have to count the lines. You're actually counting units. That's very strong, strong skill that you'll need to have definitely for the future. So make sure you're counting the units when you're moving and translating. Also, I notice how I labeled my image B prime, so I know that this is the new B. And I also stated the point, which is 5, 0. I could have easily just translated, left it there, but notice I always state the point because we're going from this point to this point. The second piece of translations has to deal with the rule. There is a rule that describes the translation from a pre-image to an image. Go ahead and write everything you see down here, including the little picture. And then when you're ready to follow along, press resume and you can follow along with my voice. Let's write a rule to describe the translation of G negative 5, 3 to G prime, which is negative 1, negative 2. And we're missing the prime on that. So let me write it in. Okay, so now let's see how we're doing this. Point G is moved 4 units to the right and 5 units down. Okay, that was probably given to us. So we moved G 4 units to the right. Okay, 4 units to the right and then 5 units down. And we got this G prime. So the translation adds 4 to the x-axis. So let's take a look. When you have 4 units to the right, you're moving this direction. So you're going to add 4 to the x coordinate. Notice that if I'm at negative 5 and then I want to be at negative 1 for the x, I would add 4. So to show that, we would write x plus 4. Okay, notice I highlighted it all in red. Now I'll do the other one in blue. And then we're going to go 5 units down. So next, what do I add or subtract to 3 to get to negative 2? Well, if I'm going down, I'm going to subtract 5 from the y coordinate. Notice 3 minus 5 would give me negative 2. So I would take y and subtract 5. And now I have my completed rule. Let me go and rewrite it so you understand. You're going to have to write x, y. That means what do we do with the original coordinate points? And you're going to translate it. That arrow means you're translating by adding x to 4 and subtracting 5 from y. We'll practice this in our stretch before we begin translating figures in class. So the rule is a big deal. It tells us what we're doing. And now we have to translate this point. Here's an example. Translate the point B, negative 2, negative 5, to the right 7 units and up 5 units. What is the rule? Think about what the rule is and make sure you have the proper notation. And then when you're ready to follow on with the video, press resume to check your answer. Okay, here's the answer. Hopefully you got it right. Look at my notation. Notice that I have x, y. This represents any coordinate point that I want to translate for this rule. And the translation would be to add 7 to the x value and add 5 to the y value. So let's see how we do that. We would go from here and then go all the way over 7 units. So we're adding 7 to get over here. And then we're going to add 5 to get up here. And let's take a look at the new B prime. The new B prime is at 5, 0. And our original B was at negative 2, negative 5. So let's double check our rule. I would add 7 to this number to get 5. And then I would add 5 to this number to get 0. It all checks out. So this is our correct rule for our translation. Okay, here are 2 examples for you to practice, and then we're going to go over these in class. So bring all your work to class, please. Make sure you write down these examples in your notes. Now I've been talking about translation of shapes. So why not see what one looks like, and then we're going to practice this in class using something called patty paper. Translation of shapes. So this shape ABC has vertices A at 1, negative 3, B at 3, 0, and C at 4, negative 2. And we have practiced over the last 2 days how to plot just a simple point. So let's graph this triangle ABC and its image after translation to the left 3 units and up 2 units. So originally we have this shape ABC, which is a triangle. And we're going to translate it by sliding it to the left 3 units and then up 2 units and connect the image of the new vertice, and this is our new image. So this is the pre-image, here's our image. Notice really what we did was we isolated each point and translated according to this rule. Left 3 units and up 2 units. And you can still have a rule written for this one. Go ahead and practice writing a rule for this translation of the shape. Okay, I have given you notes and you've written them down. We have discussed some examples on how to translate a point and how to even come up with a rule for that translation. And you even got to see a little bit of a preview of what we're going to do in class with shapes. So how do you translate a point on the coordinate plane? I'd like you to answer that question after you have reviewed your notes several times. That means more than twice. Go ahead and review your notes and then write your summary by answering this question. How do you translate a point on a coordinate plane? And bring any other questions you have to class.